Throughout the entire history of the internet, meme songs have existed in one way or another. Whether that be songs that were made to be funny or songs that were made completely seriously and then made memes by people later on the internet, they've always played a huge role in the overall culture of the internet. I mean, the classic era,
some stay dry and others feel the pain, chocolate rain.
The MLG era, if anyone remembers that. Dank memes. All of them have sounds to fit them. And it makes sense why this phenomenon is a thing because, I mean, think about it this way. The only thing that lingers in your mind longer than something funny is a catchy song. So it makes sense why they're so often paired. One song in particular that's a real throwback to the early days of YouTube and the internet that never has really quite escaped my mind is a parody of the classic Christmas song Jingle Bell Rock called Suck on My Cock by an artist by the name of Matt Rogers.
Stroke on my, lick on my, suck on my cock.
Chances are you're already familiar with this song in some regard if you used the internet before like 2015, 2016. I think a big part of why this song is so memorable is because it kind of just has this level of utility that other songs don't. Mostly just because it can subvert people's expectations like literally no other piece of media. For example, if you're watching this video, you're probably already familiar with the gay parody of Noticed by Lil Mosey.
I'm a fag nigga, fuck me in a Tesla.
Now, in concept, these songs aren't that different from each other. I mean, they're both absurd, over-the-top sexual parodies of pre-existing songs. But the thing is, anybody who listens to Lil Mosey probably is under the age of 25 and already is familiar with internet culture. Therefore, when they hear the song, they're obviously not going to be too shocked. Like, don't get me wrong, I can still get a decent chuckle out of the song, but, you know, it just doesn't really have the same punch. But on the other hand, people who are passionate about Jingle Bell Rock tend to be a very, very different crowd.
Stroke my, lick my, suck on my cock. It's the first time for you. So that's what you do. Oh, me and show me you care. Don't go ripping out my beauty. Reach for my breath.
Another thing that's important to mention here is that the vast amount of edgy parodies are made by exactly who you'd expect them to be made by. You know, 20-something-year-olds who are probably chronically online and don't really have anything better to be doing. But the voice of the person who sings this song is completely different. I mean, dude, think about it this way. You could hear the person singing this song doing like a cover of Jingle Bell Rock, and you would think there was nothing wrong with it. It would sound perfectly fine. I mean, this is literally so much the case that under the comments of the song, there's literally dozens of people claiming to have played this song at like Christmas parties in other countries where they don't speak English, and literally nobody could tell that it wasn't the original song. And besides this just being shocking, it adds another layer of comedy to the whole song because, I mean, just hearing someone with such a magnificent voice saying,
Start licking and slurping, my dick will get firm. Soon you'll be tasting sperm.
with so much fucking passion in their voices, it's fucking hilarious. It's unforgettable. With all that being said, I can't help but feel a little bit perplexed about how this song even came into existence. That's what this video is going to seek to answer. Even though that sounds like a pretty straightforward question, believe me when I say this, it is not a straightforward question to answer. Upon searching up the name Matt Rogers on Google, only two things come up that are related to music. The first being the album that Suck on My Cock is featured on, and the second being an American Idol performance from a singer much too young to be our Matt Rogers. Dead end. Logically, I felt the next best step would be looking up the album that the song is featured on as a whole and seeing if any information exists on it online. Rated Xmas is a comedy album released in 1997, featuring a variety of different lewd parodies of popular Christmas songs, including Drunken Santa's Coming to Town, a parody of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I Saw Mommy Fucking Santa Claus, a parody of I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Rudolph the Deep Throat Reindeer, a parody of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Stuck on My Cock, parody of Jingle Bell Rock. Frosty the Pervert, parody of Frosty the Snowman. I Love to Choke My Chicken with My Hand, a parody of Winter Wonderland. Have Yourself a 1-900 Christmas, parody of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And finally, Have a Pornographic Christmas, parody of Holly Jolly Christmas. Now, looking at pictures of the album cover, the most striking thing besides the half-naked woman on the front of it is the variety of slogans fucking slapped across the thing. Finally, ... Christmas songs not for the entire family. Sometimes being naughty is nice. Now, seeing that the album cover is almost like proto-clickbait in a way, kind of made me realize some things. It made me realize that there's probably more to this album than you'd initially think. Nowadays, I think we kind of take for granted how easy it is to create things. I mean, for example, if I wanted to make this album myself, it would literally be as simple as, you know, looking up the instrumentals to the songs, writing down the parody, open up Audacity, put the fucking instrumental in, and then record over it with my microphone. I mean, it's that simple, but back in 1997, technology just wasn't where it is today. I mean, you know, to make something like this happen, you had to put a lot of effort into it. For this album to exist, a studio had to be rented out, instrumentals probably had to be recreated from scratch, and somebody had to actually produce physical copies of this shit and send it around. So there is someone out there who put a lot of time and money into making this shit happen. Like, this wasn't just some joke album that was thrown on the internet. No, somebody actually cares about this existing. Now, besides the slogan and the track list, the only thing written on the cover of the album is the production company behind it, Parody on Parody Productions. So I decided it would be a good next step to check them out, and the rabbit hole goes much fucking deeper. Now, Rated Xmas wasn't exactly beloved by the public like it is today when it first came out. I mean, if you look it up, some of the only articles to ever be written about it call it the worst thing they've ever heard. The brain here is Matt Rogers, who promises on the album's cover, Christmas songs not for the entire family. It should have read Christmas songs not fit for human consumption. The music sounds like it was created with a commercially available keyboard pre-programmed with songs like Santa Claus is Coming to Town and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Armed with his Casio, Rogers' shtick consists of changing the lyrics of these well-known Christmas tunes into raunchy and stupid renditions. At the risk of sounding like a prude, let me declare that even the most socially inept 14-year-old that masturbates 4 times daily would not consider these renditions clever or funny. Anyone else would probably react as I did upon the first listen, with a violent fervor that feels the court ruling was too lenient and that Mr. Rogers deserved a harsher sentence than the one handed out to him. And reading articles like this brought to my attention one of the fucking craziest legal stories I've ever heard of when it comes to music. In the spring of the year 2000, Warner Chappell Music and Jewel Music Publishing took Scott Gordon, the founder and owner of Parody on Parody Productions, to court, suing him for profiting off of their copyrighted materials. And at this point you might be thinking to yourself, but wait, isn't parody supposed to be protected by the law? And you would be right, but the music companies suing Parody on Parody seem to think that the parodies on Rated Xmas weren't actually parodies somehow. Quote unquote, they are simply unauthorized exploitations of famous holiday songs for cynical commercial gain, with the lyrics of the original works replaced with lewd lyrics. And I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking that this makes absolutely no fucking sense. I mean, if I'm not wrong, the common conception of what a parody is literally replacing a song's lyrics with new funny lyrics, which is exactly what they describe, but somehow it's not parody because, you know, it's gross. Anyways, however unethical this lawsuit was, 3 days before Christmas 2000, Parody on Parody settled in court, not only agreeing to pay the companies an undisclosed amount of money, but also agreeing to destroy every single copy of Rated Xmas that was still on store shelves. Maybe this is just my age speaking here, but this is the first time I've ever heard of such drastic measures being taken in a music legal case. I mean, I kind of get it, because, you know, nowadays, it would be simple to take the album down, you just take it down from Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. It's no longer an issue. But I don't know, to me, physically destroying all the copies of the album seems a little bit far-fetched. Regardless, now would be a good time to bring up their website. Part of the court agreement also included that their website, ratedxmas.com, also had to be taken down. Now, if you try to visit the website today, you're just going to be met by a screen that says, "This domain is owned by Scott Gordon," and a number that has since been deactivated. Thankfully for us, though, screenshots of the site can still be found through the Wayback Machine, and it's about what you fucking expect from ratedxmas.com. You see, on the early versions of the website, they really doubled down on the whole edge appeal of the album, with them stating proudly that they've been banned from advertising on stuff like South Park and Playboy magazine. So you know they must be really edgy if those South Park guys don't even want anything to do with them. And they also try to appeal to the whole anti-establishment sentiment, with them saying vague shit like they don't want you listening to songs like Frosty the Pervert. Bro, you telling me that Big Brother media corporations like fucking Comedy Central are telling me that I can't listen to a song about Frosty the Snowman being a child molester? Oh, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Future versions of the website, closer to the legal issues, had a bulletin explaining that big bully music corporations had gone too far. And if they won this case, it would mark the beginning of the end for parody everywhere. Which, I mean, now we all know just wasn't the fucking case. I mean, chances are if you're seeing this video, you probably have never heard of this legal case before me explaining it to you. So no, this wasn't the death of comedy, sadly. Anyways, the website is pretty bare bones besides this. I mean, they have a page for the track list, page for purchasing the album, a page for news, a page for reviews, and a page for contact information. Now, before you get any ideas, no, I'm not gonna fucking email Josh Valenti at ratedxmas.com. The chances of an @ratedxmas.com email being active like 20 years after the site got taken down, I mean, I'm not even gonna fucking entertain it, but, you know, if you want to do that, feel free to. We do have one major lead, though. If you remember earlier, I mentioned the name Scott Gordon a number of times. Now, while I have my doubts this is the man who actually sung the song, he was the person running the website, and he was the person who went to court for the album. So if anyone is gonna know who Matt Rogers is, it would be this guy. So that's where I focused my research. From the area codes of the phone numbers on the website, and also from news articles that state that Party on Parody is based out of Kissimmee, Florida, I've gathered that Scott must live somewhere around the Kissimmee area in Florida. And upon googling Scott Gordon Kissimmee, the only person to pop up is a doctor by the same name that operates in the Kissimmee area. To say I was skeptical at first would be a fucking understatement. I mean, the idea to me that the guy who made I Love to Choke My Chicken in My Hand is now a fucking esteemed doctor, it just didn't add up in my mind. That was until I found this Twitter account. Unless you have a super keen eye, you probably didn't notice this at first, or at least I didn't notice it at first, but while I was looking over the screenshot of the current version of RatedXmas.com, I noticed something that I didn't initially. You see, there's an email address at the bottom, sgkiss@aol.com. I decided that I would leave no stone unturned, and I actually looked up his nickname, seeing if, you know, he had any other accounts associated with it, and I found a match. In the bio of this Twitter account, it says hand surgeon, writer, and musician. And I mean, this shut down any skepticism in me that still remained. I mean, it's basically undeniable at this point that, you know, Dr. Scott Gordon and Scott Gordon that made Rated Xmas are the same fucking person. So I recruited one of my friends to make a call to the doctor's office and see if we'd get on the phone with him. Alright, we found the Scott Gordon medical doctor. There's a number here, so I guess we'll just give him a little ring. My buddy is calling me right now. You didn't know I have friends.
Yeah, I'm not his friend. I'm just a paid actor.
Yeah, exactly. Hey man, we're shooting our video right now. Kill yourself.
Yeah, fuck you.
If you didn't know, we're actually so dedicated to you know, our act, our craft, that we bought a burner phone just for this video.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this baby called? The jitterbug?
Yeah.
That thing. Hey, that thing.
It's saucy.
That thing go hard. Yeah.
For English, press 1. Para Espanol. For appointments, press 1. If you are a physician's office, perhaps.
Dr. Scott Gordon, please.
Who's... No, Dr. Gordon not here. Who's calling?
My name is, Trevor Cornelius. I have a wrist problem. I'd like to, talk to him.
But you want to talk to him about what? I can send it to the secretary. You want to talk with the secretary?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's extension 1216, okay? The name is Jesse. Give me 1 second. Hi, you have reached the voicemail box of Jesse, secretary to Dr. Gordon, Dr. Gordon. If you could please leave a brief message with your...
I heard from, some family members that Dr. Scott Gordon would be a really good doctor, and I'd like to, be able to talk to him. Thank you. Fucking left us on voicemail.
Hopefully they call you back. And he never called me back. At this point, I decided the next best thing would be to try to reach out to him on Twitter more directly, as he is actually pretty active on Twitter, mostly just posting political shit all day. And sadly, that went over just as well. I even made a burner Twitter account to hit him up a second time in the hopes that, you know, maybe a more direct approach would work, because I was pretty vague before, but he never hit me back. At this point, I can safely conclude that he wants to be left the fuck alone. And personally, as much as I wanted this phone call to happen, I really need to just respect his privacy at a certain point. While this isn't really the conclusion I hope for personally, I can say that at the end of the day, this most likely is the person who made the song. While I can't say he is without a shadow of a doubt because I didn't get to speak with him personally, with all the evidence I've gathered, it's pretty obvious that it is him. I mean, think about it this way. Out of all the different names associated with this project, his is the only one I can verify without a doubt is a real actual person. Now, if I had to guess what this is, I'd say this whole thing is most likely his passion project. He's the one who put the money into it, he's the one who set the whole thing up, and most likely he's the one who sung the songs. So at the end of the day, I'm fairly satisfied in I can credibly put a face to who's behind the song. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different, you know, this being my first actual scripted and well-researched video. And you know, of course, I've been pretty excited to get it out to you. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you appreciate it and you want to see more. And one more thing before I wrap it up, guys, just please don't go out of your way to bother Scott. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of getting the vibe that, you know, he's done with this shit. He's moved on to greener pastures, and he wants to leave all this shit behind him. So obviously, don't start messaging him or especially calling his job, because, you know, it'd be a fucking nightmare if we got him fired over this shit. So, you know, just respect his privacy. Just be decent people. And, you know, Scott, if you somehow see this video, bro, hit me up. You know what it is. We'll get a part 2. It's good. Besides that, have a good day, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.